Hello, everyone. This is Angela, and you're listening to Homeschool Unrefined, the podcast where we keep homeschool simple, real, and fun.
And this is Maren. You've got episode 117, Creating a Heck Yes Homeschool Plan. And we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But first, we want to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for being back here with us again. We love hearing from you. We love seeing you. We love interacting with you on social media. Thanks for just being with us. And if you're new, we're so glad you're here too. If you haven't ever listened to us before, thank you for just being here today too. And I hope you really enjoy this podcast today, and please feel free to go back and listen to a bunch more.
Definitely. Special hello to our Patreon supporters. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, you can go to patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined, and Patreon supporters get extra episodes and a community of people.
Yes. So, and we love those Patreon episodes. We really enjoy kind of just digging deeper with those.
And it's a little bit more casual, which is
much more casual.
Really fun for us.
Yep, for sure. This summer, we are asking each of you to share our podcast with someone you know who might like us. Could be either social media wise, or it could be in real life. But any way you want to share would be awesome. Our goal, we do have an Instagram goal. We are really hoping to get to 10,000 followers by the end of this year. And we're getting closer. But we need your help, because really getting those follows is so powerful by word of mouth, or by, just people like you who are listening and want to share. That's really the most effective way to create this community that we're really trying to create here.
Right. So if you haven't done that yet, a lot of you have shared already. Thank you. Thank you so much for always supporting us in that way. If you haven't yet, feel free to text a friend, tell a friend in real life, put it on your social media. We'd love to have you do that. And thank you so much.
Yeah, we so appreciate it. All right, Angela, I have to say, you turned me onto a podcast, which I guess is not actually new information. You turned me onto a lot of great podcasts. But the one recently that you told us all about was White Lies.
Yeah. Was that one of my LTWs?
Yes, I believe it was, because I remember writing it down while we were recording.
Yes. And did you listen?
I did. I listened. I binged it.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't stop listening.
Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
All right. So it's a real event that happened 1960. What was it? 1965?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, in Alabama, Selma, Alabama, actually. And there was a murder by some white supremacists who killed a minister who was down there from like Boston, the Boston area, came down to help out the civil rights movement, and was murdered while he was there.
Right. He was a white minister.
A white minister, yes, exactly. Yep. So, and the case never really, I don't know what happened. Did they just, I think the people were tried, but they just were never found guilty.
Right.
And so NPR took it upon themselves, which is just awesome. I love that NPR does this kind of stuff. But they started investigating, especially the two guys who did this podcast. They were from Alabama,
right?
Which I think was very helpful in getting in with this town. And so they went to Selma, spent a lot of time, invested a lot of energy figuring out what really happened, and they did. They figured out what really happened.
Yeah, so good. I just think journalism is crucial.
It is effective. Sometimes more effective than, the law.
Oh, yeah.
The judicial system.
For sure.
Which still blows my mind.
I know. Well, they did a lot of heavy investigating. And I mean, I think they spent at least a year or more.
I think they said, didn't they say like a total of 3 years? But it was, I'm sure it wasn't, I'm sure it was, not full time, but I think they've been working on it for 3 years. Yeah.
Wow. That is great. That is so great. And they figure out, what actually happened by the end. And they talk to a lot of people involved. And there's some I loved the last episode because I felt like not to give things away, but
yeah.
there was some, I don't want to use the word reconciliation, but
Right, yeah. I mean,
some,
there was just like some family members from like the
yeah,
next 3 generations
yeah,
that have come to terms with like what's happened.
coming to
And
terms with
yeah,
what happened.
yeah.
Yes,
So that
yes,
I feel like they closed it up really nicely, even though it's like not a clean,
yeah.
it's
Still a murder,
it's
and
still
it
a murder.
was
It's still an issue.
yes,
But
yes,
so I don't want to say that everything's cleaned up nicely, but
no,
I guess I want to say like it's the generations that have come after this horrific incident have really dealt with it. I mean, I just feel like they've really
yeah.
they've really dealt with it. So
Yeah, there's hope.
yeah,
It feels
yes,
hopeful.
that's how it feels.
hopeful.
Yeah. I do have to say though, I have for some reason I feel like maybe because there's been they poured out so much information in such a small amount of time, I did not catch everything, and I feel like that's different than some other podcasts that I've listened to that are kind of like this. For example, In the Dark. I don't know. I feel like maybe it was just the way they like presented the information or something. I feel like with this one, I had to, first of all, make it go slower. I always put my podcasts on like, I don't know, fast speed. And this one I slowed down, and then I also had to rewind it a few times and be like, wait, who are they talking to now? Because they talked to so many people.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep all the people straight. I feel like I needed a flow chart or something. That was that was the one tricky part about this podcast.
I listened to it mostly in real time. I think when I got to it, the first maybe 3 episodes were out. And so I binged those, and then I had to wait a week for the next episodes.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
So it was tough, but also good. I think it was good because it gave me time to really think about each episode and digest it. So maybe binging it like in one setting, which is I don't think you did it in one setting, but maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Was
over a couple days, yeah.
maybe too much.
Maybe. I think that could be. And maybe that's a case for doing it the old-fashioned way, which is like listening to one thing per week.
I kind of like that. I think we've talked about this before. I don't remember where, but I kind of like the anticipation of waiting for another episode of a TV show or a podcast or whatever.
I just haven't done that for so long. I can't say that I don't know if I like it. I haven't done that.
I mean, you kind of do it, like podcasts like ours or podcasts like the Popcast or whatever ones you listen to. You're waiting every week.
That is true. Although it's not
sequential. Yeah. Okay. Well, so if you haven't listened to White Lies, we highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And let's talk about it. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, next we are going to have you listen in on a conversation that we had, I think, last summer, but it is so good that we wanted you to hear it again. It's all about planning for the fall. And so we know that's the mode everybody's probably in right now.
Right.
So we thought it would be appropriate to replay that. And it's something that's helpful to us too. So we like to rehear these things. So we hope that you enjoy that. And we will come back at the end with all new LTWs. All right. So today, our title is Where We Pare Down Curriculum, Co-ops, and Clubs.
Yes.
And what we usually do, or, what we do a lot of times with our podcast is talk about what's going on in our life right now. So, like, this is a big topic for Maren and I right now.
Yes.
This is what we're dealing with. So,
exactly.
We're going to talk about it. It's timely for us, at least. Yeah.
A lot of times we pick topics for our podcast about things we need to process right now.
Yep.
Where we're at, we need to process it, and we need to help each other through it, and we need to have some like good self-talk. And we figured this will be good. Hopefully will be helpful to someone else too.
Yeah, because I know other people are going through this too. I know everybody's looking at curriculum and looking at co-ops and trying to figure out what they're going to do for the fall. Yeah. It's kind of a scramble. So
it is. And it's so interesting because like I usually have this processing time at the end of our spring, when we're closing up school in the spring, May or something. And I really reflect on how the year went and where I think where I could see us going next year and what we might be doing. So I do lots of reflection then. And I even start doing some work about with co-ops or curriculum or clubs.
Yeah.
And, do a little bit of research, send out some emails, maybe a few phone calls, I don't know. But then I feel like a lot of people aren't ready to tell me about the fall yet, which makes sense. They're just closing up the spring stuff, right? So it's not really the right time for me to be planning all that stuff. And yet that's when it's like top of mind for me. So it's just like it just doesn't work out. So then I kind of drop it. And then it's, August 1st rolls around and I see everybody on Instagram getting all their stuff together. And I just start freaking out again. I just kind of freak out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, where was I last May? Where had I dropped everything? I got to pick everything back up right now. And it's just kind of like a scramble, right?
Yeah.
August is like a scramble then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do any reflection in May. When we're done, I'm just like, good. I don't have to think about this anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't for a while.
I know, yeah. And that's probably why when I emailed you or texted you a bunch of things, you're like, I don't know.
I know, you texted me some stuff in May, and I was like, what is she doing? She's planning ahead? I don't know what I'm doing.
I know.
I haven't thought about this. Well, and then I started to freak out a little bit. If Maren is planning this, I gotta be.
Yeah, but then what happened is like, last week you started texting me about stuff and then I was like, oh man, I gotta get going. I need to get going on this stuff. So
I know. We can't do that. We gotta just be on our own timeline.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
But I mean, also there are things we do have to be on somebody else's timeline for. there are things.
I don't know. I think something you've taught me is other people's timelines are not the boss of you. So, like, just because soccer sign up is August 15th, doesn't mean that you have to do that. You might miss it. You might be able to sign up later. You might find a different league that does something later, or you might do it next year. It's not a big deal. Just do it on your timeline and see what's available when you're ready.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
I tried. Well, I learned that from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm right. But I mean, I know I need to keep telling myself these things, and you have to keep telling me them, obviously. But I mean, I feel like, though, as my kids get older, too, it's becoming more and more important that I make the timeline.
For yourself?
If it's for them. Like, they don't forget that we were going to sign up for soccer and then just never did. Or whatever it is. Yeah. They don't forget the thing that's super important to them anymore.
Right.
Like, if
they
want to do it, they're not going to forget anymore.
There are some things.
Yeah.
That you have to be on top of. Yeah, I get that.
But also, I do feel like, and I mean, this was easier when my kids were younger too, but if it's really important, I won't forget to sign up.
No,
probably.
Right.
If it's the highest priority, I won't forget to sign up. If I do forget to sign up, I mean, I just have to be real honest with myself and ask, why did I forget? I mean, maybe it wasn't as important as I really thought it was anyway.
Yeah.
Or
so
not forget. It's not even forget. It's more just like, if I didn't even have time to do the sign up, or it wasn't a good time for me to sign up, then maybe it just, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. So what started happening to me, not started, but I feel like, there's a bunch of possibilities that are showing themselves.
So many possibilities.
In August. And they come from like me seeing stuff online or me remembering stuff or the kids telling me stuff they might want to do.
Yeah.
Or me asking the kids like, do you want to learn a band instrument? And then they tell me how much they want to or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's just all these things coming at me and I'm feeling like, oh no, I got to make decisions about these 10 things. And I got to fit it into this puzzle of our week.
Now, when August 1st comes or whatever the date is and you are kind of inundated with all these choices, is your first reaction like, oh good, this is going to be great for our fall. We need things to do. Or do you think, ugh? I gotta fit all this
I
stuff
don't
in.
know. More like, ugh, I gotta fit this stuff
Yeah.
in. And so, well, I mean, some things are great because I think like we're gonna need some stuff to do, so we might as well sign up for something. But mostly I like dread all the things, and maybe that's because I'm an
Okay.
introvert and I don't like leaving the house and having things on the calendar.
Yeah,
But
and I think you're a questioner too. So you question you know, everything goes through a filter like, is this
worth
yeah.
spending an afternoon a week on? Is this really important to us that we
Yeah, and
want to do this?
you do that first, and I do that last
Oh,
sometimes. Or
okay.
maybe not last, but like my first reaction to all those things are, oh, this is going to be so great. I'm so excited. But then my next reaction is, oh my gosh, how are we going to,
Yeah.
I have to drive all these places. And especially after having a conversation with my husband, who he goes through that filter right away too. And he's like, so you want to drive this day on Monday, and you want to drive this way on Tuesday, and you want to go here on Wednesday? Is that what you're telling me? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know. Jeremy's like that too a little bit. I was asking him about some things, like, should we do this? Do you think we should do this? And he's like, I'm gonna need to see like a weekly calendar because I don't even know what you have going on. So like maybe we need to like look at an example week.
Yeah.
And then decide.
Oh, that's so
I'm
good.
like, oh yeah, I should probably do that.
I know.
I said, I have that in my head, actually. He's like, yeah, I can't help you until I see that.
I guess my first filter is not the schedule. It's more just like, is this something my kids would really enjoy and get a lot out of?
Yeah.
First. And then I guess, the schedule, and I do have to look at that.
Yeah, I do think about, are my kids gonna, is this really gonna benefit them too? That is part of it too for me.
Yeah. I think you and I probably do that more, first than the schedule part.
But one thing I realized like a couple weeks ago is I need to remember my own advice from seasons past.
Yes.
If it's not a heck yes, it's a no.
Yep.
And all of these things, if it was a for sure yes, it's already in the calendar.
You're
like
right.
like Adventure Call.
Yes.
That's a for sure yes for us. So I don't know what day that's going to be on, but I know it's a given.
Right.
Everything else really isn't. I'm like trying to decide, is this worth it? Is this not? Well, it's obviously not that important. So
totally.
I feel like what I should do is just start the year, and you can always add stuff later. And I gotta remember that, because so many times I add too much at the beginning, and then I slog through all that driving back and forth.
I know. You're
for
right.
the year.
And I've learned that from you you just add later.
Add later. There's always stuff to add later. It may not be the thing you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's going to be stuff to add later.
Yes. Yeah. Get the one important thing that you really want on the calendar. And then that's so good.
So I feel like I'm just one by one saying no to all these things.
Yeah.
They're just dropping off the list because they must not be that important. And so that has felt amazing. Once I've said no in my mind, that has been amazing. I love that feeling. So
it's so interesting, because sometimes those co-ops, when the first idea comes into my mind, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like, oh good, I need a break. So this is going to be a good break for me, and our kids are going to get away out of the house.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about all these great things that are going to happen, but then as soon as you decide no to it, suddenly it's like, ugh. Yeah, that was better. That's better.
If you say yes to something, you're saying no to other things.
Yeah.
And that I have to remember that too.
Yes.
So if I say yes to a co-op that's like a one-day thing, I'm saying no to keeping our routine that day at home, doing a read aloud that day.
Yep.
Going outside that day. I'm saying no to all of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm also saying yes to me frantically getting the kids out of the house on time.
I was just thinking about that.
Yelling at everybody to get going, packing lunches.
Yep.
And then driving home in traffic or whatever. So you don't think all of that through. when you first hear about it.
Yes. You just think this magical day
I'm going
is
to have
gonna
some
happen.
time off.
Yes. I'm going to go sit in a coffee shop. It's going to be so amazing. My kids are going to make best friends with everyone. And yeah, it's going to be the best day ever. It'll be a great balance to our week. And then in reality, is it really going to be like that?
Yeah, and I think some are.
Yes, I think so.
Some activities and co-ops and clubs are like that. And I think it's just hard to discern.
And those are the heck yeses.
Yes, for sure. It's just hard to discern what those are in my mind.
Yes,
but I
agree.
I don't know, I'm like coming to slowly dropping everything off, and it feels so good.
And sometimes you just have to try them out to know
if
it's going to work too. So I get that. That's how I mean, how I make decisions a lot of times is just trying things out. That's the best way for me. But also, I don't want to try something out, I guess, if it's like across the city and, you know, if I'm already not super excited about it. No, but
I think the older this comes with age for me. The older I get and the longer I've been homeschooling, the more simpler our homeschool gets every year. I mean, every year it gets simpler, and my kids are getting older, which you'd think it would be the opposite.
I was just going to say.
But I feel like we're doing less and less every year, and I'm realizing the importance of doing things close to home.
Yes.
Like whatever appointments or clubs or activities, having them be close to home is so important.
It is.
And so, I mean, we're doing less this year than last year. So I feel like that's a win for me. It's just like a relief.
So are you doing less with curriculum, co-ops, or clubs?
I think I'm doing less. I'm packing less into our week.
Yeah. In general, like across the board.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, my kids are getting older. So actually, I would say the clubs or activities, they might be doing more of that. Or what they're doing is more intense. For example, my 13-year-old is doing a play this fall, and she has practice every single night.
Yeah.
The whole night, 6 to 9.
Right.
So that's intense for us and her. And, if we had younger kids, we would not be doing that.
Yep.
But that's a priority.
Yep.
And so I think in some ways we're doing more like that.
Right.
But it's causing me to then during the day really pare down.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and we have to value how much she's learning right in that experience.
For sure.
I mean,
for sure.
If that's all she did for homeschool for this semester, yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, and so regarding curriculum, though, I think I'm just focusing on a couple things this year. Yeah. I'm focusing on reading aloud because I like doing that.
Yep.
And I feel like it's really beneficial. And then I'm focusing on math.
Yes.
And I haven't settled on a math curriculum or program or anything yet for all my kids. I'm still looking into that, but each of them is going to do something. And then Brave Writer.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be a little bit each day. And so my hope is, see, we can find out in May how this really went.
Right. I know. Or October.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like for me.
Or 2 weeks later. Yeah. I know. My hope is that we're going to just get that done in the morning.
Yeah.
And then have the afternoon to like go on adventures, read, get outside, go to the movies, whatever.
That's so great.
Yeah. How about you?
So I am feeling really the same way. What we are going to do is, it's definitely going to be about reading out loud, which is my favorite. Now, here's the thing about reading out loud. I think I might have to change it up this year because starting our day out with read aloud has been getting increasingly more difficult. Mainly it's my oldest child.
Okay.
Who, it's just real tough to start the day out with her with reading aloud. It just is.
Because she sleeps in.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, she sleeps in, or we wake her up, but then it's just she's not in the right.
She's not ready for
frame of mind to be listening to a story for an hour. Yeah, she just does not want that. But it's actually one of her best strengths as a learner is listening to stories. So, but what her best time of day is probably right before bed. So, even just this summer, she and I have been reading. I've been reading just to her before bedtime, and
Oh,
it's been magical. It's
oh,
been so wonderful.
good for you.
I know, and I'm sad because like the whole family read aloud hasn't happened this summer.
Yeah.
I'm really sad about that. I mean, that's my favorite thing, but if it's not working for everybody, then it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna do. We'll see how it all works. Maybe we'll do an after lunch read aloud for everybody. Maybe that's a better time for all of us.
Yeah.
But I also do want to focus on reading aloud with each of my kids. And it's not obviously not going to be every day. I have 4 kids. I can't sit down and read chapters upon chapters upon chapters. You know, I would like to do that all day, but it's just not possible. But maybe once a week I sit down and really like I read. I would like to have a special book with each of my kids that we're reading.
That's such a great goal.
I mean, I just feel like it kind of I don't know, it's like kind of a restart to my personal relationship with each of my kids when we sit down and read together.
For sure.
I feel like it's just it just
For
reignites
sure.
it. So yeah, and that's my strength. I mean, you know, my husband is great at wrestling with my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So like I can sit down and read with my kids. That's my favorite thing. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So so the read aloud is definitely important to me. And you know, read alouds often cover history and
Yeah, for sure.
there's so many things. So I'm counting all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just read aloud. Yeah, we're gonna do some Brave Writer stuff and you know, we have Logic of English, which we are doing a very minimal amount in.
Yep.
I'm going to do that with my 11 and 2 9-year-olds this year. Just like the very basic. We're doing like 10% of it, maybe.
Yep. Okay.
That's about it. And math is going to be very quick and daily. So it's going to be short, but I'm going to try and get it in every day. I think my kids need more consistent math, but like less big chunks of math.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're going to continue to do that with CTC math this year. We'll see how that goes. It's always, you know, it's always fluid.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. And I'm trying to think. Yep, deer time is always going to be important. Let's see.
Deer time is drop everything and read.
Yes, drop everything and read.
Are you going to do that in the afternoon or morning, or do you know?
Well, this is where I think maybe I'll just flip around where I had read aloud and deer time, because I had been doing read aloud in the morning, deer time in the afternoon. But since my 3 younger kids are up early,
yeah,
they could certainly just wake up and start reading in the morning. I mean, it's kind of good because then they're not waking everybody else up either. And
yeah, and you like to read in the morning.
I like to read in the morning. I like a little quiet in the morning. So yeah, that might work out great. Yeah. And then as far as co-ops and stuff, you know, or like activities, definitely Adventure Co is really important to us. And especially you'll have to listen to Greta next week. You'll all want to do Adventure Co. But talking with her maybe just like really solidify that choice. And one of my 9-year-olds really wants to do orchestra. And I'm trying to decide if that is a heck yes or not. I think it's so important to her. She's been wanting it.
It's a heck yes for her.
It's for her, it's a huge heck yes. So I just feel like I want to honor that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're doing monthly camping trips still, not tent camping. So I'm not a hero. This is camper camping. So cabin camping.
It's still, you're still a hero.
No.
For making it happen.
No, see, that's where those are my strengths though. Like I'm not strong at getting my kids to spell things correctly, but I am great at going on adventures. So we're going to do that.
Good.
Yep. And I have, you know, my oldest daughter is really into animals, so she's going to be doing some horse activities, and we're hoping to find an urban 4-H club.
Oh.
So
do they have urban?
They do.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they have urban 4-H clubs, and you know we live real close to the U of M, and they are a hub for. Like, that's where the 4-H center is. So there's lots going on
Yeah.
in nearby. So we're just trying to find a good place for her there.
Nice.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to count I'm counting that
counts.
as homeschool. When
Yeah.
she goes to 4-H, you know, if she finds that good place, that is going to be school for her. I mean, a big part of it. So I have to incorporate that into my mindset that's her learning.
Right.
Her
You
learning.
can't have a full day of homeschool and then have her go to 4-H at night.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and because a lot of these activities that we're finding are for everybody, they're not just for homeschool kids.
Yeah.
That's just where we are gravitated. We gravitate towards less homeschooly activities, I guess. I don't know. I didn't think that we would, but that's what's happening, kind of.
Yeah.
And so those things are happening in the evenings and on the weekends. So
Yep.
that just means I need to block out, less. I need to block out some time during the week so they can have some downtime too. So,
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another big change I'm making this year, or it's not a big change, but it's big to me, is my kids do jobs every day. I think yours do too.
Yeah.
And I've always done those in the morning, like, because it's really important. It's really important to Jeremy and I that our kids do jobs.
Yeah.
And so because it's so important, we put it in the morning. But I realized what happened is, nobody likes doing it. The kids don't like doing it.
Yeah.
So they
I
kind of
know.
take a long time and
Oh,
drag
yeah.
their feet. And then it takes like a big chunk of your morning,
I know.
which is like kind of prime time.
Yeah, right.
So I'm moving that out of the morning. And I have not told Jeremy this yet. So surprise, Jeremy. He doesn't listen, but he I'm gonna put it on
Give
the
him the
nights and weekends, and he can be in charge of it because
Oh
he's
my
real
goodness.
passionate about it anyway. So I feel like, why not?
No kidding.
Why not? Why not do it nights and
Yes.
weekends? And then
Leverage his strengths too.
Yeah, and then we can both, kind of be in charge.
And yes, he gets to be involved. He's you're using his strengths in those activities, and you're using your strengths in the things you're going to do with kids. That's a win-win.
Yep. So I think that's going to really help our mornings, because I feel like, oh, now we're going to have lots of time, because that took us like 45 minutes in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, so then another thing I know we both want to do is go to movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because we found out about $5 Tuesdays.
Last year, yep.
Since then,
I know.
We've been on that train.
Totally.
And there are some great quality movies out there.
Yeah, and I feel like my kids are older now, and so we can go to all the PG and probably all the PG-13s. So the only ones we can't see are R. So I feel like there's just a lot of choices. There's usually one every week.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked with Julie Bogart about how movies are often like it's great storytelling. I mean,
it's so good.
There's a lot of learning that happens in movies. Yeah, and it's just a great way, especially for us in the middle of winter, to get out of the house sometimes.
For sure.
So it's a great option for us. Now that we've kind of thought about doing movies and some of these clubs and Adventure Co. and camping and some of these things, there's really not a lot of time to do all the other clubs and co-ops and sports. I mean, there's just so many things we have to say no to if we want to do those important things.
Yeah. And I'm well aware that I have an 8th grader. And somebody asked us in our Facebook group recently, like, what are my plans for high school with her?
Yes.
And I could get into that another time, but long story short, I don't know. I'm open to to what comes our way.
Yeah.
And I really would love to homeschool her still, but I am also open to what she wants and what comes up, and I'm not anti-school for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking, what if this is my last year with her? Like, it could be. And I want to savor it. I want to be doing fun things. She loves field trips and getting out.
That's right. Oh, I remember. I saw her face light up when you said field trips the other day.
I know.
She was so excited.
I think I need to embrace that and do more of that with her, because I want to make memories and do things she's going to enjoy. And my kids will enjoy.
I think it's easy not easy, but I think our go-to thought many times as homeschool parents is, well, if I really want to, prepare them for the world, I need to get them to catch up to where, any 8th grader would be, right? But we are on a different track. We're like we're doing things differently. We're not going to look like an 8th grader who's been through public school since kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes our question is when they get older, how do I need to prepare them for the next part of school, their next level of school or whatever? But maybe like you're thinking a better question might be, how can I make the most of my last few years at home with my kid, with my child? How can I really, you can lift your children up and prepare them like mentally and emotionally for the real world.
Right. Well, I think it's both. I mean, I think she should be prepared academically too. I don't want to downplay that.
You don't. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I think it's definitely both. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good to just remember, like, it's very good. It's good that she is doing lots of, academic stuff. And then also so good that that's not like,
it's not the major
focus.
One
reason you have her home for 8th grade.
She's going to have plenty of years, if she chooses, of being academically focused.
Yes.
She can do that in high school, in college, if she decides to do that.
Right.
And, that's not really fun. I mean, that's going to be challenging.
Right.
I mean, I remember that being very challenging for me. So I know it's going to be challenging. I don't need to push that now.
Yeah. And I think it's good for us, especially when our kids are younger, to kind of let them take the lead a little bit on things. So you have a little bit of a gauge on where they are comfortable being academically too. Yeah. I mean, if you're always the one leading the way or, molding every part of their education, then how do you know where they naturally are?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's great.
All right. Let's move on to loving this week.
Yes, LTWs. Angela, what are you loving this week?
Okay, so I'm 43, and I've never really taken care of my skin. I'm confessing. This is a confession. By that I mean I've washed it, maybe. Yeah, I wash it, and I've put a little bit of moisturizer on it. Okay. I don't know if I'm using the right products, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay, in my eyes, you're really taking care of your skin. But I mean, I've probably got a different perspective than many people.
I don't know. I feel like there came a point for me, and I'm curious if other people around our age have felt this, where it's like, that was fine for a while, and then, I don't know, something switched where like, oh, I'm looking really old. Like, it's fine. I'm getting older. I'm not saying that's a problem. No, that's fine.
But yes.
But I'm looking like I could be doing more. Like my skin is flaking off. I'm trying to exfoliate. It's not really working. I don't know what's going on. I've got some issues that just my skin is not bouncing back like it did when I was like, so anyway, but I'm not like I'm not super into makeup and skincare. I haven't done the work on that. I just want to know I just want to know the easy stuff.
Yes.
Like, tell me easily what to do. And so that's why
please.
I mean, I know there's like YouTube channels dedicated to this. I am not going to be the one watching those. Right. I just can't spend my time on that.
Right.
Okay. So, and then we love Jamie Golden. She is one of the co-hosts of our favorite podcast, The Popcast.
Yep. She's
awesome. Also really into skincare. She's also my age. And her skin looks amazing. And her story is, like, it didn't always look amazing. Like 5 years ago, she noticed the shift in her skin and started doing the research and, like, watching all the YouTube channels and following all the bloggers and figuring stuff out. And so she knows a lot. She's an expert on skincare. So she decided, after a lot of pressure, I think, from all of her followers, to put something together for people like me who don't know what they're doing.
I may have messaged her a few times and said, can you make this easy for me, please?
I know, because she'll go on Instagram and talk about all these products she's using, and I'm like, I have no idea where I would even start. Like, do I start with a retinol? I don't even know. Like, what is this?
Yes.
When would I even use this? So she
and
started.
I can't like go back and look at all your Instagram stories again, and I just like I need it easier, please.
I know, and that's why I've never done like a YouTuber, because it's just like I'd be starting it in the
yeah.
middle of your. I need something simple. So she created this website, and then on her website she created a 10-step. I know it sounds like a lot. 10-step.
Ouch.
Easy skincare plan.
I was hoping for 2 or 3, but okay.
I know. Well, she has a minimalist. She has a 5-step too.
Okay.
If you want to be minimal. And what she did was she created some printables.
I love
like,
that.
There's like 4 printables that you can download. If you just give her your email, you can download these printables, and it tells you the 10 steps in order: what to do in the morning, what to do in the night, and then she gives you the products to use.
Is it 10 steps in the morning and 10 steps at night?
Yeah, but it's not actually 10. I mean, some of them are kind of combined, some of them are optional, so it isn't really 10. It's probably like I'm doing like 7.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then she gives you the products, and she gives you a cheap product and an expensive product. And so one night I just took the time and I read her stuff, because she tells you exactly what to do on her website. She also has a saved Instagram story all about skincare where she says the exact same thing on a video on Instagram.
Helpful.
So you can kind of look at both. But, and then I ordered these products on Amazon.
Okay.
And I ordered the cheap products. Good. I was like, I'm just going to do the inexpensive, and this works. And if I want to do more, I'll do more. But like, this is where I'm starting. Yep. And it was not that expensive. It was cheaper than I thought. And it all came in the mail, and I started doing it. And like a day into it, I was like, okay, this is good. This is amazing. My skin already looks better. Already feels better. I already feel 100% better about my skin than I did before. Yes.
I cannot believe it.
I know. What? So I've been still doing it. And it does take time. It takes like 10 minutes. I'm spending 10 minutes at night and 10 minutes in the morning.
That is not
which
bad.
I never wanted to do.
10 minutes is not bad, though.
It isn't bad. I don't mind. I think the return, like how I'm viewing myself, how I'm feeling good about myself is worth it.
Okay, awesome.
So
that's a good testimonial.
If you're like me, this is a good place to start. So I'm gonna put her website in here and her link to her. I think it's called like skincare 10-step skincare routine. I know, and like it
still seems like a lot, but I think if I can do it in 10 minutes, that's great.
One of her printables, she gives you 4 free printables. One of them is the minimalist one, and it's like cleanse, exfoliate, moisturize. I mean, it's pretty basic. Toner, moisturize. You know,
it is good to have somebody on your side who knows what to do. I mean, really, that's really awesome. Right. I feel like you should have a testimonial on her website.
The thing is, this is the thing. She's not, I don't know if she's making any money off of this. She's not, none of these are even Amazon links. I want to be like, Jamie, make these Amazon links so you can at least get paid, because I bought all these on Amazon without using any link of hers. Right. I just Googled or just put into the search what she suggested. Sure. So I think she's just literally just doing it to be nice, because people have been bugging her about it. Yeah. So anyway.
Awesome.
All right, Maren, what are you loving?
I am loving a dress that I just got from Modcloth.
Oh.
So it's a dress that I showed it to you when I ordered it.
You got it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just came, which they get points just for sending their stuff so quickly. I can't remember if I paid for fast shipping because I needed a dress quick.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 weddings to go to in the next month. In the next 2 months, I should say. So anyway, I am loving it. Because
you tried it on, it looks nice and everything.
I tried it on, it looks great, and I am so excited because I am not I'm not happy with the way I look in dresses these days. I'm not. I don't love the way I look in dresses. This one is really cute, and it's I don't know, it's super comfortable.
Is it the striped one
that
goes? Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes, it has like kind of rainbowy stripes.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that one when I saw it.
It's so comfy. So
good.
I'm super excited about it. And I've always loved Modcloth. I think I bought a dress from them like maybe 2 years ago or 3, and I kind of forgot about it until you suggested Modcloth again. You're like, why didn't you just look at Modcloth? And so anyway, I did, and I found this great dress. So
love Modcloth because they have colorful,
fun
clothes for women who are real shapes and sizes.
Yes.
That's why I love Modcloth.
Yes, and their models are real shapes and sizes, which I love too, because I'm like, that's how I'm going to look, in this dress. So thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And then also you just have to remember, though, when you order from Modcloth, a lot of their dresses are in UK sizes. So you have to like you told me, you have to size up. So UK is like one size bigger than US.
Unfortunately.
So it doesn't feel good to order that big size of a dress, but it's the reality. It's what it is. So I'm super
so glad
excited.
you like it.
Yeah.
So you're wearing it to a wedding.
Wedding, yes.
A wedding. Awesome.
Yes.
You'll have to maybe post a picture.
I will.
Okay, good.
Sure. Definitely.
All right, great. Okay, well, thank you everybody for listening. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do that. We're at Homeschool Unrefined on Facebook and Instagram. We have a Facebook group called Unrefined Homeschoolers. We'd love to have you join us there. And we have a website, homeschoolunrefined.com, where you can find links and show notes for everything that we talked about. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Homeschool Unrefined is created and produced by Maren and Angela Sizer. Ethan Miller is our editor, and Amanda Ginn is our VP of all the important things.